I have got notes. I got so much to talk about tonight. Welcome to the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show here live on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Facebook page. I'm your host, Steve Ray. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm going to turn that up just a little bit. We've got a great show lined up for you tonight. Of course, they're always great. I say that everybody says, Steve, you say it every Friday night because they're all great. They're just great. I got great people that come to see me. They say, Steve, I want to be on your show. Okay. Are you great? Yeah, I'm great. Okay. You're on. No radio tonight. We got preempted by the Tennessee Vols, Tennessee Tech Golden Eagles basketball game, but that's okay. We'll be back in 3 weeks on radio. So if you've stumbled upon us because we weren't on radio, you wanted to watch, we appreciate you coming over. And we'll be on the first Friday after the New Year because Christmas is Friday night, New Year's Day is Friday night, and tonight is Friday night, and the basketball game's Friday night. So we'll just have to deal with it. But if you've got questions, we've got answers here on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. Of course, our broadcast partner is Backyard Smokers Barbecue on Facebook, the #1 destination for questions and answers. And even if you want to post some pictures and do a little Facebook bragging, Backyard Smokers Barbecue on Facebook is where you want to go. And back at his house, Jeff Maxwell is monitoring the chat, and there he is right now. And join Jeff. He likes to talk about it and talk about everybody and see what's going on. We're in touch, so you get in touch. Follow Owl's Nest Barbecue on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And don't forget, the Owl's Nest podcast can be found at your favorite place to podcast. Get at. We put it up on Anchor, but you can get it on Apple. It's everywhere. One announcement. Then this is big. I hope my friend Melissa is listening. Melissa Cookston and Tuffy Stone are teaming up for a barbecue school. Could you imagine going to a barbecue school with Melissa Cookston and Tuffy Stone as the instructors? Well, you have that opportunity. It's the Legends of Barbecue cooking class, and it is going to be, I just had it. Boy, that's the way it goes. Hang on a minute. I'll find it. No, that's the picture of me interviewing Tuffy. That ain't it. Let's see. Well, I just had it here. She said she's making a special announcement. I can't find it. And, oh, here it is. The Legends of Barbecue Cooking Class. Melissa Cookston, Tuffy Stone is going to be March 19th through the 21st. That's going to be a Friday night, all day Saturday, and all day Sunday till all the questions are answered. And it's going to be in Horn Lake, Mississippi. And that's real close to the area of Mississippi where all the great Mississippi cooks are. Malcolm is out there. Mark is out there. What's that other guy's name? You know what I'm talking about, though. Tuffy and Melissa have consistently won at the highest levels in competition barbecue. And now you get to go the old school way. Visit melissacookston.com. melissacookston.com to find the information that you want. I don't know how much it is, but I'm going to tell you right now, that would be the school to go to right there. Melissa Cookston and Tuffy. I had a friend, Lamar Young, one of my good buddies, Three Knocks Barbecue, Three Knocks Nation. Lamar, I know you're watching. He went to Tuffy School 2 years ago. He said it was fantastic. He said it was great. He brought back all kinds of tips that he would not share with anybody. But after he went to the school, you know who starts winning all these local competitions? Lamar Young does. Three Knocks Nation. They start ruling the Chattanooga Ooltewah competition circuit. So there you go. Go to the schools and you'll win barbecue contests. All right. Let's get to the guest. This guest, I've been looking forward to this for 3 weeks. He was a member, or he is a member of the popular barbecue team Hot Grill on Grill Action. And I believe it was season 2 of Barbecue Pitmasters, but we'll double check that. His love of food and real love of pizza led him to being called the Urban Slicer. And now his easy-to-use pizza dough and pizza sauce are sold nationwide. He is the second most famous person in Omaha, Nebraska. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you. Where's my mouse? Oops, that's not the right one. My little guy's not here tonight. Matt Frampton. Matt, how you doing?
I am awesome, Steve. How in the heck are
Was
you?
that
It's
not
been
the
a little
worst?
while.
Was that not the worst introduction you've ever heard for
I like that
Matt Frampton?
introduction. Yeah. The second most famous person in Omaha, which is not true. For sure, the first is Warren Buffett, and then there's a whole long list of people. But I appreciate that intro. And by the way, this barbecue class with Melissa and Tuffy that you just announced sounds really, really cool. I've been at this barbecue game for 15 years now, and I would be all over that. So hopefully someone gets to go do that.
Weren't you on Barbecue Pitmasters season 2? Am I
I
correct?
was. You are correct
I
with
thought
Team Hot
so.
Grill on Grill Action.
Yeah.
There's four of us on that team, and
Mm-hmm.
we lost, I think, by a point in the coleslaw category to Big Mo.
Yeah. That coleslaw. That coleslaw gets you
That
every
pesky
time.
coleslaw
A
gets
few
you
more
every time.
onions and you'd have had it, right?
Man, no mayo, I guess, is the
No
secret.
mayo. Hey, okay, it's time to play famous alumni from your school, the University of Nebraska at Lincoln. All right. Now, the famous alumni at the University of Nebraska, I'm sure you know a few, but I've picked out a couple. Matt Frampton, Warren Buffett, Johnny Carson, and General John J. Pershing, General Jack Black, as they called him, who commanded the forces in Europe in World War One. His title was General of the Armies. That pretty well states what you do, doesn't it?
Yeah,
General of
that's
the
pretty
Armies.
awesome.
That's like
Yeah,
king of the world. That pretty much
yeah,
settles it. But
absolutely.
can you think, Matt, of one other famous person from your school who I did not mention on this list, who is probably the second richest person to come out of the University of Nebraska other than Warren Buffett? Now, the guy I'm talking about is rich. I mean, rich. But to Warren Buffett, this guy's got chump change, but he's still rich.
Ooh, that's a good one. I am gonna go with one of the Ricketts.
The Ricketts. Now, what did the Ricketts
Yeah.
do?
The Ricketts started Ameritrade,
Okay.
and I'm not sure if they were University of Nebraska or Creighton, but the Ameritrade is an Omaha company, and one of them's our governor, and the other one owns the Chicago Cubs now. They're
Oh,
brothers.
I did not see them on the list of famous alumni from the University of Nebraska.
Okay.
So they
Oh
must have
man, I
been
need
they
to
must
better
have been the
guess that.
Creighton guys you're talking about.
Yeah, they must have been. So, wow.
Well,
Okay, athlete or business person?
a business person, because I mean the athletes that have come out of Nebraska. Good gosh, man, and it's not Tom Osborne either. That'd be too easy too.
Yeah. Oh, you might have stumped me here, but I'm sure I'm going to know who it is as soon as you say it.
Okay,
Okay,
the
go
most
ahead.
actually the most famous alum from the University of Nebraska is a dropout from the University of Nebraska. He is the most famous dropout that the university has ever produced. And some of you out there could not live without this. And this is Twitter. And it was invented by
Oh,
Nebraska dropout Evan Williams, whose
Evan
estimated
Williams.
worth, according to Forbes, is a nifty $2.4 billion. Evan Williams, the most famous college dropout. Why are all these guys that were so good? Him, Zuckerberg, the guy from Windows.
I guess Steve Jobs and
Yeah, they're all
yeah, and Bill
college
Gates.
dropouts.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, they
they are.
couldn't they couldn't hack it. They couldn't. I guess why do I have to take 3 semesters of Spanish? you know, I'm out of
Right,
here.
exactly. Yeah. Learn how to, read multiple paragraphs about tulips.
Exactly right. But Evan Williams, he's the most famous college dropout, probably. Probably not. I'd say Zuckerberg's the most famous college dropout. But
Yeah, that's a good one. So, a little known fact, since you mentioned this. So, one of my barbecue teammates, Logan Hendrickson, was a Fiji, which is a fraternity in Lincoln, and his room at the University of Lincoln was actually the fraternity room that Johnny Carson stayed in during his stay. He was also a Fiji at the University of
Well,
Nebraska-Lincoln.
that's a neat little tidbit. Now,
That
Evan,
crazy? So I
this Evan
slept in
Williams
that.
guy was in the fraternity, the Farmhouse.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is that a? I'm sure at Nebraska where everybody majors in what, agriculture. Is
There is a lot of agriculture, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'll have to look up what he was in. It might have been tech or something. Who knows?
yeah, but it's that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Nebraska's got a lot of famous people out there. A
They
lot of people.
do.
A lot of
And,
people
and,
work there.
and for those of us in the state, we'll be watching them play football tonight.
Yep.
They still try.
Yep. You know what that N stands for, don't you? Knowledge.
Knowledge.
Knowledge. That's right. Okay, Matt Frampton. Enough of this chit chat, bar talk. Let's get to the hard stuff. Give me your barbecue team history with hot grill on grill action. Probably the greatest name of any barbecue team that has ever been invented.
So this would have been our 15th full season. Obviously, with the pandemic, we didn't get a chance to compete as much as we would have liked. And so it's four of us. We grew up together: Ryan Amos, Logan Hendrickson, Chris Yillick, and myself.
Mm-hmm.
And we have just been friends since we were little kids and decided to cook barbecue together. And we've had a blast over the years. I mean, we started out as a drinking team that also cooked barbecue, and as we get older, our name is still as silly as ever. But we love the time together, and it's good weekend time. We all have families now. When we started out, we not all of us had kids, so that was a really cool way for us to spend time together, and we enjoy it. So yeah, like you mentioned, we were on season 2 of Barbecue Pitmasters, and over the years, at this point now, we're kind of a mainstay. I mean, we started when it was 300 or 400 bucks to compete, and now it's 1,000 plus.
Yeah.
We've seen countless teams come and go, and we're not the winningest team in barbecue, but we certainly have been there as long as just about anybody at this point. Super cool.
You know, season 2, and I'm a big barbecue pitmasters fan. I'm a geek when it comes to these guys. Season 2 was that kind of a weird. Didn't really. I think it was kind of a. They were trying to find which way they wanted to go. They didn't know if they wanted a game show or what. What was it? What was it like cooking in that? Let's see. You cooked against Mo. Was Melissa in that episode?
No, Melissa wasn't in that episode.
Was Sterling Ball's group in that episode?
No,
Okay.
no.
Who was?
We had it was Taint the Sauce, and then a team from Georgia. Oh man, what was the name of that team? You put me on the
Is
spot.
that
I
the?
have to
No, it's
look.
okay. Is that the guy whose place burned down, and he was
Yes, it
on
is
there?
the
Okay,
place. Yeah.
yeah.
What's their team name? Do you
I can't
remember?
remember. I met him in Nashville a few years ago at a MBN
Super
contest.
awesome team.
Yeah,
Very hospitable. We
real
spent
nice
a lot
guy.
of time hanging out with those
Hmm.
guys. Everybody there was cool, but it was very weird because when we sent in the audition tape, we were expecting like the season 1 format, and
Hmm.
so our whole pitch to them was come to us, let us take you around, show you what we do, because we do a lot of entertaining and on top of the competing, and it was one of the things we were doing to offset the costs. And it turned into sort of Chopped that season,
Yeah,
and the travel, was insane. You had to go all the way out to Calabasas. It was on Ronald Reagan's old ranch,
really.
is where we filmed it. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
also
know
where they
that.
filmed
That's
MASH.
interesting. Really.
Yeah, and so had we won that episode, we would have had to turn around and drive all the way back out there 2 weeks later.
Hmm.
And they cover your travel expenses kind of. So
Kind of.
TV's crazy, man. It's fun watching the shows now that come out. I can kind of tell because a lot of times they do the interviews of, not to give away, TV secrets, but they do the interviews with all of the people that you see during the episode. Those are done after the results. They already
Hmm.
know the results. So
Yeah.
you can kind of tell on someone's face what's happened if you
Yeah.
watch really closely. Yeah.
Yeah. Those. I love to listen to the stories. Tina Cannon always tells good ones because she's been on every single format just about's out there. She's always telling about how the interview afterwards you have to remember what you did. And she said the weirdest thing about being on competition is the producers will stop you before you go to the next step and ask you to do something again, so they can get it on camera. And she says that really kind of wrecks your rhythm. But I kind of liked season 2. I didn't care for the way it was judged so much. You couldn't have found 3 more different people, Art Smith and Myron and the fellow from the Tampa Bay Bucks.
Yeah, Warren Sapp.
Yeah,
Yeah, which was that was
he,
definitely a strange combo of
yeah.
judges.
His tag was a big time barbecue lover. Well, who isn't?
Right. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
who isn't? But
Right.
in Art Smith certainly. I mean, his resume speaks for itself.
He's a legend as much as Myron
Yeah,
in a different way.
yeah,
Not
sure is.
not he's a chef, a
Yeah,
very true chef and a good guy to talk to and very very nice person.
good deal. Um,
Yeah.
so there's your barbecue world, grill, hot grill and grill out. You guys still compete?
Absolutely.
Hey.
Yeah, we were all signed up and ready to do the American Royal,
Oh
and
wow.
we got a couple contests in early this year, and but after February we didn't get any in. We had planned on doing the American Royal and a couple of others this fall. So as a team, no, competed in some SCA contests, but not KCBS.
The how did y'all? How's it change? Because when you guys started, y'all were young guys. Now you're old guys. Are y'all in the motorhome bracket now, or are you sleeping on air chairs?
Oh hell
Or
no. We got a nice camper. We talk about it all the time. You walk around these contests now, seeing a canopy and people sleeping under it is actually an anomaly. When we
Mhm.
first started, that's what almost everybody did, and when you saw campers, you were super jealous. Now almost everybody has them, but no, we're too old now. We got a toy hauler, AC, heat, whatever we need,
Yeah,
running water, bathroom.
yeah. See, when I was old when I started. I didn't start this till late in life, so I spent a couple nights under a canopy in an air chair, and I thought, I'm lucky. I can afford to do better than this. So I got a camper, and then
Yeah,
it's kind of weird sleeping in. I'm just kind of weird about sleeping and living in the same place where I'm cooking, in that small camp. So we sold the camper and got a trailer now, and I pull it in and I'll back it up, set it up, and I go to the motel
yeah,
and get
we've
a
done
good
that
night's
too.
sleep. Yeah, and get a good
Yeah,
night's
the
sleep and,
hotel.
and head on back. That
Yeah,
and
especially an event like the American Royal or a 4 or 5 day affair. It's you got to get a room at our age,
you darn right.
and
We
and we're not broke, 22-year-olds
You're not
anymore.
rich. No, I mean, but we're lucky. I can afford the $79 Hampton Inn and head
Absolutely.
back to the contest. Did
Yeah.
you before you got into pizza? Did you ever work at a pizza store? Were you when you were a young
Never
guy?
worked in a pizza store, and in fact, my birth in pizza is all due to barbecue. We were looking for sponsors, and one of the first companies to sponsor our team was the Kettle Pizza, which is an insert that goes in between the lid and the base of a Weber 22.
Mm-hmm.
And the first time I ever ran that thing, it was a New Year's Eve. I think it was New Year's Eve going into 2009. And I have been in love with making pizza in the backyard ever since that night. It literally changed my life. I didn't know it at the moment, but I have loved it ever since. And I joined all these forums online, started developing my own recipes, and it's been a true marathon, not a sprint, to get to where I am now with the pizza stuff. But it all goes back to barbecue. That's the whole reason it happened.
Did you cook pizzas like during the contest for the guys and like
We did.
yeah, like have little
Yeah.
pizza parties for
Yep.
people around you and stuff?
Yep. Every the Friday nights, that's where we would showcase the kettle pizza, and then soon we'd have the Green Mountain Grill pizza oven,
Mm-hmm.
and we would just cook a ton of pizzas. And there's been some contests I brought 100 plus pizza doughs, and
Wow.
as a team and with some help from our wives, we just slang pizzas on Friday night, and we've never charged for them. We just give them away,
Ooh.
and just slowly became known as the pizza guy.
Yeah. And and righteously so because what you've got going, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit. It's really cool. First, I guess you first started what? Did you first start piddling around with sauces or piddling around with dough?
Dough for sure. I
Tell me,
got
explain that
really
process of, I always like to talk to guys that I interview that I sell their or their rubs, and their stories are always different, but they're interesting. Tell me about the pizza dough evolution. How do you, who helps you? How do you uh, get the ingredients and things like that?
Yeah, great question. So it's been about a 4 year journey in terms of testing the product that's in the pouch that you can buy now. It's been about a decade of getting to this point, just trial and error and learning the science of baking. And I've taken classes and studied. I graduated from the International School of Pizza. But with the Urban Slicer product, we had to find, we had to strike that balance between the ultimate quality that I wasn't willing to sacrifice and the economics of the ingredients that go into the pouch to make it a successful business. And so we started off with a lot of Italian imported ingredients and things like this, and those costs were too high. So we sourced some different things and just played around until we found the right mix. One of the coolest things that we've been able to do is figure out a way for yeast and salt to live in the same pouch without the yeast dying.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Yeast next to salt in the dry form will die over time. And I worked with the food scientist, and we found a way to, we found a yeast that has a coating around it. Once water hits it, it dissolves. And that allows that long shelf life, just add water sort of blend we have. But we've been through dozens of different formulas to get to where we are. And it started with the Neapolitan and then evolved with the other flavors from there.
How long did it take from concept to getting it into stores like mine?
So my first the first time I thought, okay, this is a potential business was about 4 years ago. Um, and I started tinkering around with formulas, but I got real serious in late 2018. And then in 2019, we finalized the formula, and then it was a lot of working on the packaging and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
all told, a good 2 year process to get to this past June when we launched.
Well, Matt, what made you do it? Were you like unsatisfied what you were finding at the grocery store, or is it just something like, hey, I can get this at the grocery store, but hey, I can do this?
Two reasons. One, I developed a recipe that became widely shared online, but it's a multi-day process and quite extensive, and
Mm-hmm.
had a lot of requests for a same day dough. And so I started looking for one to recommend. I actually originally was not looking to start a business around this, and I couldn't find one to recommend that I really liked, and I just didn't believe that it wasn't possible. And so yeah, it ultimately boiled down to wanting to have a professional, next level quality pizza dough mix that was super simple. A hard and fast requirement for me was to keep it just add water,
Mm-hmm.
and it had to be, I don't want people overthinking the ingredients and measuring and all this other stuff. So 1 cup of water to one pouch, super simple. And just earlier today, I did a Zoom session for 27 different people. I got done about an hour ago before this, and I prepped with my urban slicer dough, and in just 20 minutes, I had 8 dough balls ready to go and
Yeah.
work with. It's just so simple. I mean, sometimes it even baffles me, honestly.
the the packaging that you use when I first pulled it out of the boxes, I looked at it and I thought, now how am I going to display this? And then when I got it out and kind of played with the package, the way the little bottom pops open, I meant to bring one, of course, and I forgot it. Um, Flat bottom in a
Yeah.
not kind of a, I don't want to say pyramid. I don't know what that's called. What is that? Is that an isosceles triangle?
That's a good way to put it.
There it is. Yeah,
See if we can see
yeah,
this
yeah. It's
with my green screen. It's kind of acting up, but
yeah, it's but it's but I've got them displayed on two whiskey barrels that I bought, and they fit right on the top of the whiskey barrels just perfect. And they stand up, and they're right by the door. People grab them, and what I like about it is they'll come into the store, and I don't know, some guys like to hear how their product gets bought. Some of them don't, but you're going to, so just bear with me.
No, I love it.
People come in, and the first thing that hits their mind, they want barbecue, and they go to all the rubs. First thing they do, what's your favorite, Steve? Well, I don't have a favorite. Blah, blah, blah. We'll go through all that thing, and then they'll buy stuff, and then when they're walking to pay, they go by the pizza dough and they go, what is this? And Matt, every one of them that has an interest in pizza, some people aren't interested in pizza. They don't pay it attention. But if people, but most people love pizza. They go, what is this? And they pick it up and they start looking at it and they start reading it. And usually the wife will pick it up and she will grab it and look at the husband and go, do you think you could do this on the grill? And then he grabs it and he looks at it and he goes, yeah, I think so. And then they ask me, is it easy? I say, it's easy. It's easier than falling off a log. And you just mix water. And they go, just that's it? I said, yeah, no, that's it, water. Nothing else, just water and a mixer with that little hook on it. And as a matter of fact, I went out and bought a mixer so I could have the hook. And makes it, stirs it up easily. And they buy 2 and 3 of them at a time. It's not just one. To try, they'll get all 3. Or they'll get, 2 Neapolitan and a deep dish. And everybody's leery about the grill one, putting it on the grate. And I only have to do is tell them how to do it. And I read it right off the back of the package. You cook it, then you flip it over, put the ingredients on the end, the side that you just cooked, and put it back on the grill. They go, it doesn't fall through. I said, no, it's made to cook on the grates. I said, it won't fall through. And people come back, man, they buy it again. They love it. It's easy. It does exactly what the package says. Each individual package, the Neapolitan is high temperature cooking. The deep dish is, everybody loves that Detroit deep dish pizza because of the crusty sides on it. And the grill pizza that you cook right on the grill, right on the grates, because people that have gas grills can cook them. And that they like that. The 3 products that you have are just so consumer friendly that people like them and they buy them again. It's a great repeat item. How did you decide on the 3 products that you put out there, the Neapolitan, the deep dish, and the grill?
Well, first of all, that's an amazing testimonial. So thank you for sharing that. Means a lot to hear that, and that's what it's all about. But I think, so I knew, well, I should say so I have a couple of partners and they have been largely responsible for the packaging, and we've spent a lot of time thinking about what we wanted to do, and we for sure knew it needed to be more than one. Tried out a lot of different ones. We tried out like a whole grain thing, a couple of different deep dish ones, but what we just decided is we had to have a traditional wood-fired style. So that's the Neapolitan. That's the granddaddy of them all, as far as I'm concerned. I really wanted to have a pan option that had a little more grittiness to it. So that ended up being the deep dish. And I wanted to have a thin and crispy option because these bar pies is what they call them are becoming really popular. But with the barbecue background and the backyard users that have been following me for so long, I wanted something super simple for the grill. And so we developed this lower gluten, and gluten, I think we've talked about it on your show before, but gluten is what creates the rise and the bubbles in the dough. The grilling crust has less gluten in it, so it doesn't bubble up as much on you, and it stays that thin and crispy. So we thought it was good, a good widespread variety with those 3, and coming up with the names and tinkering with the formulas was just something that we had to finalize. And
for everyone watching and listening, if you haven't tried this, homemade pizzas, if you I don't know if you can get a hold of Matt's Urban Slicer product or not. Is there a website, Matt, that they can buy it online if they don't have a store by them?
Yep, urbanslicerpizza.com, and we have a list of retail locations out there. So I mean, my number one priority is to support those stores. They've been the first people to get behind us and support our company, just like you, Steve.
Yeah.
And so, check those lists first, and then if you can't find it, you can buy it off of our website, and we'll have Amazon up and running after the new year. But yeah, there are so many forums and groups on Facebook and elsewhere to join and learn, and it's a really, really fun hobby, even if you don't want to get so nerdy about it like I get.
Hmm.
And just take the plunge and try and make something, and I think you'll be hooked if you haven't tried making
Well,
pizza.
you're right, because once you make a Neapolitan pizza, or once you eat one, and especially if you make your own, um, you can't eat Papa John's, Pizza Hut, Domino's again. I'm sorry, you just
Mm.
can't do it. It is such the pizza that the dough that you make and the pizzas that you can make from the dough that you make are so elevated, and they cost so little to make such a better food. That's what's amazing. The pouch you makes two pizza doughs. They're $6.95. For two pizza doughs, and it's fun to make it yourself. Pizza time is a when I fire up the pizza oven here at the house, it's usually for a party. Because I've
Yeah,
got a wood fired oven here at the house, and you're not going to fire it up for one pizza. You're going to make at least a dozen.
right.
And but it is a great, like you said, hobby that brings families together, brings friends together, and nobody has ever come to the house and didn't have a good time, making their own pizza. I mean, I've had them make them everything from just cheese to throwing pineapples on it. We had a guy put cottage cheese on one. Anything in the kitchen is fair game on a Neapolitan pizza in a high heat oven, and it's just an incredible food, and like you say, it is a great hobby. And with the products that you've got, it's so cheap.
Yeah.
I don't say you distribute it and make it so cheap and still make money on it. I know it's
Uh,
tough,
we're
but it's
yeah, we've it's been cool. But pizza making, and it's a great way to use leftovers. And
mm-hmm.
like you say, it's a super social food. Maybe the number one social food in the world, for sure in the country, I
Got to
would
be.
guess, just because it serves so many. It's a family
Mm-hmm.
style meal. I know we're in the middle of a pandemic and not people get together, but I found myself handing pizzas over the fence to my neighbors this summer, and you can still find ways to share it. So super fun hobby. That's without a doubt. I'm glad you're getting into it too.
We're talking with Matt Frampton from the Urban Slicer, distributor of pizza dough, and let's segue right into the sauce that you've got coming out. Is it out yet, or is it about to be launched?
Sauce is out. It's been
Okay,
out for about a month,
how's it doing?
and it's doing very well. The reception has been great. It's in a 8 ounce can, so we kind of wanted to have that nostalgic sort of old school feel with it. And each can is good for two pizzas, so it matches up one can to
Oh,
one pouch. And it's a very robust, super deep red, rich tomatoey sauce. There's no sugar in there, but there's some California tomatoes we use that are super sweet as the base. So there's no sugar necessary, and but it's got a really, really rich flavor. And I have yet to have someone try it and
I
not
don't know
like it.
why I haven't ordered those yet. I'm just asleep at the wheel, I guess.
Yeah,
It's
you need to get that. I'll
yeah,
shoot you a note.
yeah. We need to hook up on those. A lot of people when they make a pizza, man, and I'm certainly not an expert at pizza making. Don't think I am, but what amazes me is how much little sauce you actually use on a pizza. It's not globbed on like spaghetti, and it's just very, very thin. It's almost translucent. You can see the pizza through the sauce, and you don't need that much.
Yeah, especially with a Neapolitan style, you don't want your pizza to get soggy.
Hmm.
And with the deep dish, I want the crust to stand up and be fluffy, tall, but still crispy. And so those deep dish pizzas, I actually add the sauce on. I warm the sauce and add it on after I do the bake.
Yeah.
And but on a Neapolitan, you're right. You just spoon it on there, and you don't want too much. You don't want it globbed on there, or you end up with a wet mess.
Um, Boy, there's so many things. Uh, let's go to the Green Mountain Grill because they're obviously close to your heart, close to my heart and pocketbook. Um, the unique thing about the Green Mountain Grill, one of the biggest selling points is the pizza oven. That has literally turned people from I think I want a grill to they make a pizza oven for this. Yeah, okay, I'll take the grill and give me the pizza oven. And I've had customers that have yet to use it as a smoker. They bought the pizza oven. They leave the pizza oven on the grill, and they don't even smoke with it. Tell me, how did your relationship start with Green Mountain Grill? Because I see two big Jim Bowies right behind you, and with the useless window.
Yeah, I don't even clean mine.
We don't let's don't get into the window. I have to talk about the window every day. But
uh,
tell me, because the number one, the Green Mountain Grill is a fantastic cooker. How did Matt Frampton and GMG hook up?
well, I saw them online in 2010
Mm-hmm.
and messaged the company. And for those that know Green Mountain well, Jason Baker, one of the owners of the company, and just a fantastic person, reached out within a couple of hours or something. And we talked about hooking up to do some social media plugs, and I told him I wanted to start using them in competition. And he said, well, let me get you trained up on how to use them. And so I bought one from a local business here in Omaha, and we've been using Green Mountain Grills for our chicken at our barbecue contests ever since.
Yeah.
Once the pizza oven came out, I had to have another one. So I have one of these behind me is a Prime Plus, and the other one is a Prime, and one of them has the pizza oven in it all the time. It's never even had barbecue cooked.
I know.
To me, that's my wood fired oven, and I love the way it makes a Neapolitan pizza.
Now,
So
did you have any input when they made the pizza oven, Matt?
yeah, a little bit. I did some
Really?
testing, but the initial prototype came out as a surprise to me, which was super exciting to see, and just another tool to start using. And I've been providing as much feedback as I can over the years to improve it. They've changed it. There's a few different iterations of it that have come out.
And if you haven't seen it, you're welcome. If you're here live here in Chattanooga, you're welcome to come out to Ooltewah. I'll show you the pizza oven, and it's so easy to set up and it's so easy to use, um, and it just makes a marvelous product. I mean, it
It
is.
does. It cooks perfect. I mean, you have a 700-degree base and a 900-degree ambient. I mean,
Mhm.
that is ripe for the perfect Neapolitan pizza.
We had a restaurant here years ago called the Brick Oven Grill, and they were famous for their Neapolitan pizzas. And I would hold one right up to the Brick Oven Grill that was made in a Green Mountain. You know, you couldn't
Oh, absolutely.
if I
No
didn't tell
question
you,
about it.
you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know the
Yeah,
difference.
no question about it. They truly produce a professional, top-notch Neapolitan pizza that like you just said, if you did them side by side, blind tests, no one would know.
Yep, great
Yeah, you
product.
still get that smokiness, that wood fired flavor. The base gets that. It's called leoparding, so you get that those black spots underneath, and yeah, man,
And what's it
great
called
tool.
when you hold it up to the top a little bit to let it
Doming,
what's that called?
doming,
Doming.
doming.
You can even dome in this thing. There's enough room to dome in it.
There
And
is, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. If your base is cooking too quick, you just lift it up with the peel off the bottom and hold it up to the dome a little bit.
everybody, if you haven't made a pizza outside on your grill, you need to try it. It's something that it's one of those things like I didn't know I could do this, and I'm gonna tell you, Matt, if I can do it in a pizza oven that I have here at house, and I mean they're so easy. The only time I think I shared with you one time, the only thing we did wrong was the first time when I first put the first fire in my pizza oven, I got it a little too hot. You could probably see that. You could have probably seen it from space. It was so hot, and I put the first pizza my friend Roger and I put in there. And it exploded. I mean, it hit
What pizza oven do you have?
It's called a Thor, Thor,
Oh,
and
yeah, that's right. You told
and
me that. Yeah.
it's it was it's cool, and it was so hot though it just obliterated. If you didn't want to cook pizzas, then you could cremate cats in it. I guess it's pretty
It's
it's pretty
yeah,
awesome.
that's awesome. Yeah,
But but
there's
you don't
nothing
have to
like
go through all that trouble with the Green Mountain Grill, the pizza oven you get. I mean, it does everything the big pizza oven has. I
yeah.
just
I mean, really any grill, but the pizza attachment for the Green Mountain. I mean, if you have a Green Mountain, I get asked this all the time. What pizza oven should I purchase? And they'll rattle off, Uni or Kettle Pizza or
mhm.
Rock Box and these other portable ones. And my first question is, do you have Green Mountain? And if they say yes, then it's an easy answer. You
Yep.
just buy the attachment, and that's what you want to use.
And
If
we're
you,
talking $129. That's
yeah,
like
exactly.
it's they almost give it to you. It's
Yep, easy to store
yeah.
right underneath if you have the Prime with the shelf. And
hmm They're
hmm
great. All right, let's get to it. The Neapolitan. Everybody, get your pencils and pads ready. We're gonna get into the nuts and bolts of a Matt's favorite Neapolitan pizza. I want methods and ingredients, Matt, because
okay.
that's what everybody's been waiting on.
All right, perfect. So my favorite Neapolitan pizza from the bottom up. And so this is going to be the case with all of them if we talk through all of these is get creative. You don't have to put all the ingredients on before you cook the pizza. You can put some on before, some on during, some on after. And if you start doing this with your pizza cooking, you will unleash a whole new level of pizza cooking that you didn't know existed. It adds layers and depths and a whole nother a whole nother level of options for you to do. So Neapolitan, the Neapolitan crust, obviously. I like my red sauce. I like then some whole milk mozzarella. I like taking some hot sausage, cook it up, and I actually put it in a food processor to make it really fine. So then I sprinkle some sausage, some cup and char pepperonis, and then I bake it. And then when it's done, I like putting cool dollops of ricotta, some chili oil, and some honey, and a little bit of fresh basil. That's
Oh,
my personal favorite pizza. It's got some sweet, got some heat, lots of meat.
and that'll feed. That'll
Well,
feed.
I mean, that's a 14-inch pizza, so that easily feed 2 to 3 people, four if you've got a salad or something to go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That's fantastic. All right, let's move on to the grill. Because that's going to be that's one that I haven't. I've only tried it a couple times, and it's turned out good. But I think I could perfect it a little bit better. The grilled pizza.
Yeah, so the grilling pizza, we have the instructions on our package, but you need to just keep in mind that it needs to be flexible to how
Mm-hmm.
hot your grill is really running. So with a stone, you can take an infrared thermometer, you can know exactly what's going on, but the difference from one gas grill to another from medium to high can vary quite a bit. But the key is, I think Steve mentioned it earlier, launch your pizza dough right onto the grate. You will see the top of the crust start to bubble, almost like you're doing cooking a pancake in a pan. As soon as you see that bubbling, the other side should be good, and you'll see grate marks. You take it off, flip it over, and then we put our toppings down.
Yep.
Me for the grilling pizza, I first of all I make sure all my ingredients are cooked because this pizza cooks so quickly that really we're only after getting them hot and the cheese melted. So you don't have time to put crunchy raw. If you don't like crunchy raw vegetables, you need to cook them just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But a barbecue chicken pizza, chicken bacon ranch, buffalo chicken pizza, these are great. The grilling dough for me is the ultimate leftover pizza. So you can take what you got in your fridge, throw it on top of the one side that you cooked, little cheese, back on the grill for a few minutes, and you've got dinner.
And put some bacon on it too.
You gotta have
I put
bacon.
bacon on the one I did. It was off the chain. Off the
Bacon for
chain.
everything, yeah.
All right,
And the cheese on top with that one.
and the deep dish, which is uh, I've only done it once, and it turned out pretty good. But when you do one once, you're not gonna you got to do them a couple times before you can really knock it out of the park. But boy, I love that. It's worth doing, Matt. Just to put the dough in there and just let it cook and eat the sides of it. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and I tell you
Yeah.
what, I'll tell you how good it tastes, everyone. If you've ever done those little cinnamon rolls and you get the middle one, you know how much better the middle one is. That's how you go after the crust on these deep dish. I mean, that's how good
Yeah.
it is. I want the crust. I don't want the middle. I want the crust. Let's go over that.
Yeah, so the deep dish can work in any pan. I do a lot of Detroit style and take a lot of pictures, but you can use a bigger pan and stretch it out to what's called a Sicilian pan pizza. You can make a round Chicago style pizza, kind of limitless. And so we refer to it as the epic deep dish pizza when we talk about it online. I have two that are probably equal to me. One of them is my Urban Slicer deep dish crack bread. It's so simple, but it's literally just the deep dish crust, and I will par bake it in the oven by itself for about 6, 7 minutes until it starts to separate or release from the sides of the pan. Then I cover that thing with cheese,
Oh,
lots of garlic and some salt and some herbs, and then I throw it back in and bake it for another 7, 8 minutes, and then just slice that into cheese bread and put a little warm sauce on top of each one. So super simple. It's probably my number one requested pizza when I'm cooking parties.
and it is so fast, man. All these are just, the what takes the longest is waiting for the dough to rise for 2 hours, and
Yeah.
after the dough is risen, I mean, you're ready to go, and I mean, you're eating from start to finish. Once you get everything warmed up, I mean, you're eating within like 15 minutes. That's what's so amazing.
Yeah, and if you stage it right, you're having people over in a party, you can kind of stage the pizzas to come
Hmm.
out,
Yeah.
and it just becomes an event rather than a sit down meal.
Uh,
I have a recipe on the website called The Hangover. If you haven't tried that, Steve, you got to check that
somebody
out.
mentioned that in the in the thread I saw just a minute ago. Somebody was
Yeah, that one's pretty ridiculously awesome. It's
Kevin
got
Brown. Kevin Brown says you have
oh,
time. His hangover pizza is a great breakfast pizza.
yeah,
So
what's up, Kevin? How are you, man?
that's pretty
Uh,
cool.
yeah, that's scrambled eggs, bacon, sausage, ham, and then cheese, bake it, and then some warm biscuit sausage gravy on top of each slice when you're done. Whew,
I never thought about that
so good.
sausage
Some
gravy.
chives.
You can buy that stuff in a can now. You don't even have to make
I
it.
That's all I
I
use.
know, and it's pretty
It's
darn
so
good.
good.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
you don't
darn
have to
good.
whisk it and wait for it to thicken, and
Hey,
yeah, it is good.
let's talk about the tools a little bit. In my arsenal, I've got a wooden peel, and that's what I make. I actually make the pizza on the wooden peel, and then I slide it into the pizza oven with the wooden peel. Then I put it away, and I get out the metal peel, and that's what I turn it with, and that's what I serve it. Pull it out with. Is that normal operating procedure in the pizza world, or did I invent that, or is that I'm just
Nope,
following the
you're
pack?
you're you're spot on, especially for if you're just starting out. It's a lot easier to build a pizza and launch it off of a wood peel. It slides easier,
Yeah.
and then the metal peel is thinner, so it's easier to get under a pizza to take it off, and also it won't burn. So metal peel to launch, or sorry, wood peel to launch, metal peel to take it off. That's definitely the right choice there.
Do you have one of those little round peels that you use to turn it with?
I don't. I just use my normal peel and get under there. On the Green Mountain oven, the Green Mountain Grill oven, sometimes I'll just slide my peel all the way in there,
Mm-hmm.
take the whole pizza out, take my hand, turn it, and then
Turn it.
put it back.
Yeah, because you got to work
100.
these pizzas now when you get them in the ovens because they got
Yeah.
hot spots in them. You got to work that pizza, and that's what makes it fun is getting it in there and working it.
And that's true for any oven. It's not unique to the Green Mountain Grill
Right,
oven, right?
right. Oh,
Even your
yeah.
wood-fired oven, you got to rotate.
You got to
Yeah.
rotate, or one side will be black and the other side. And Matt,
Right.
that's the thing when you cook a side, if you're not real good at it like me, and sometimes you don't turn it quick enough and you get black, it may not look as pretty when you pull it out, but the black part on the crust, it doesn't taste bad.
No, it's
Yeah,
delicious.
when you
Yeah,
put it
I
in your
like
mouth,
it.
it's not like when you burn a steak, the bite goes, yeah, that's terrible.
Hmm.
This is not that I burn steaks, of course, But it's a good. It still tastes good. You can be a little bit off the mark and still make a good product.
Yep,
It's very
absolutely.
forgiving. As fast as
Very.
the cook is, it is very forgiving.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get the Green Mountain ripping, or you're cooking on a true wood-fired oven at 900 degrees. I mean, you better not go grab a beer. You got 90 seconds
No,
and
you're
get
right
it
there right.
done.
That's what they make wives for. Hand me that beer.
Yeah.
That is just a fantastic hobby you've got going, Matt. So what is up next for the Frampton Inc. organization as far as pizza? And are you working on an oven of your own, or what's going on? What's next? I know, because I know you've got the dough out, you've got the sauce out. What's coming up?
Got the dough, got the sauce. I'm gonna have some seasonings after the new year.
Oh, that's good.
I'll have a white and a red.
Okay.
Haven't zeroed in on a name yet. I'm still working on the packaging,
Mm-hmm.
but those will come. And we'll continue to grow our store base. We're actually in all across the U.S. now, and almost 100 stores. We're in Canada, Germany, and Australia. And I have just recently come to an agreement with um, an 18 chain restaurant that's going to use our deep dish.
Ooh,
And so food service is in our
nice.
future too, and might even see Urban Slicer on the menu of this place. So pretty excited about that. Oven, not in the near term. It's I think it's the consumable product line is what we're going to continue to do, and want to keep growing our brand. We may have some pizza flavored snacks and things like that that'll be coming. Just sort of taking it as it comes. I'm learning this business myself. I mean, I've been in banking consulting for 25 years, so this is a whole new world to me.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm loving it, learning a ton. Very thankful for my partners who have been in this business for a while. But just excited to see where it goes. And the first 6 months has been incredible. I mean, beyond my wildest dreams, honestly. I set some goals, some stretch goals. We've exceeded all of those by tenfold,
Good.
and so hopefully we can just keep the train going.
Um, Pizza competition. Let's touch on
Yeah,
that before we leave tonight. Tell me, are they out there? Where are they, and how do they operate? Because to me, that's the natural progression of this thing. Is let's get a bunch of guys together and let's have a pizza contest. Because
there are.
that's how we are.
Um,
That's
yeah,
we have to do that.
it's we have to do that, and I've actually discussed starting something more for the barbecue type community, a similar sort of competition circuit in pizza. And
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been able to dedicate the time to even writing up the concept, and so not haven't made it very far there. But there are lots of competitions. There is actually a world pizza champions team. It is captained by Tony Gemignani, who is my instructor at the International Pizza School. He's a 13-time world champion. Most of the really popular and big contests are in Italy. There's a big one in Vegas, but there's nothing like the Kansas City Barbecue Society or the Steak Cook-Off Association
Mm-hmm.
as it relates to pizza. And so there's a gap there. I think growing. There's more and more of us that like to cook pizza and would love to compete in something like that. I personally would love to get an invite to cook on the World Pizza Champions team someday. You have to get invited to that. It's a very small, close knit group. But in terms of something like the KCBS, I'd love to see it. It's just you just have to, there's a lot of logistical things that are different than barbecue. Um, you know, the oven space, the dough preparation. You know now from prepping dough, a 30-degree day outside, if you're cooking, your dough's not going to rise. A 100-degree day, it's going to rise too much. So there's
Yeah.
lots of logistical things there that make competing in different seasons in different regions a challenge, but I think something that could be overcome. But it's just going to take the right effort and the right minds to put it together.
Well, I tell you, I guarantee you, Matt, it's on the way because the barbecue thing and live fire cooking is not going away. And
No.
the pizza, I can't believe, I had no idea how much people loved pizza until I got your products in the store. I mean, people love it, and they buy it like crazy, and they come back and buy it again. They tell their friends about it. They come in and say, I'm looking for this dough that my friend got here, and they just it's something that I think is going to keep growing. I really do, and I think the advent. I think there's going to be more pizza ovens that are going to be put on the market soon, and I just think it's a great hobby. It's great fun. It's not expensive, and anybody. A lot of times, it's the entry into the barbecue world is a little expensive if you want to get a good smoker and stuff like that. But this, the pizza oven stuff is cheap, and I just think it's great. I think what you're doing is great, and it's a great food, and I think someday it's going to be a great food sport.
Yeah, I agree. It's definitely not going anywhere. I've talked to Uni, I've talked to Rockbox, I've talked to Kettle Pizza. There's an insert for the Big Green Egg called the Pizza Porta and Green Mountain, and all of them had record sales in 2020. So that just tells you, there's more ovens to choose from. They've all sold more than before.
Yep.
It's a very, very fast growing niche that has a lot of momentum right now.
I'll tell you, if you have a Big Green Egg and you're not making pizzas, you are missing it, because
Oh man, they make
you have
great
sitting
pizza,
in
don't
your
they?
backyard. You have got one of the greatest pizza ovens that was ever put on this earth. That Big Green Egg. That's a portable brick oven grill right there.
It is, yeah. They make amazing pizza, and you can do any of our styles on there, or
Yeah.
any other style that you can think up. You can do on a Big Green Egg.
All right. Who the Huskers got tonight? I didn't even look.
Rutgers, and I've been watching my phone blow up
The
with
Scarlet Knights.
complaints, so I'm pretty sure the Scarlet Knights got the lead and something bad's happened, and I don't even know if I'm gonna go watch, but I'm sure I will because I'm a sucker.
That's right. You got to love the Huskers. All right,
Yeah.
Matt. Thank you so much. I appreciate the time and the great conversation. You're great, man. You are just
Thanks a lot,
you're
Steve.
great.
Feelings mutual, and thanks for having me and letting me spend some time with you. And I
You
hope you
bet.
have a wonderful holiday season.
We'll
And
get you back on in the spring when the weather breaks, and we'll get you on the radio where everybody in Chattanooga can hear you again. And,
yeah,
one of these days we'll get you out to Chattanooga, and we'll have a pizza party. How about that?
deal.
You
I'm
got
in.
it.
Let's do
Thanks,
it.
Matt. Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot,
You
Steve.
bet.
Have a good one.
Matt Frampton, everyone, from Omaha, Nebraska, on the Skype, on the Butcher Barbecue Skype hotline here in Ooltewah, Tennessee. Everybody, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And to Matt and myself, what a great guy. Great pizza information and great pizza recipes. And folks, he knows it. He knows it. Come by my place, Owl's Nest Barbecue Supply and Pro Shop. We have all of Matt's products. We'll be getting the sauce in a couple weeks. And we've got the dough, easy to use. Come by. It's only $6.95 for a pouch. It makes two 14-inch pieces, and you will actually love it. Until let's see. We won't be here Christmas night, but we'll probably be here New Year's night. That's a Friday, because there's nothing going on New Year's night. So we'll be here. We'll have somebody here, something going on. Maybe we'll just do a open forum and take your questions, and we'll all take your questions and comments, and we'll all just talk barbecue and anything you want to talk about food related here on the Owl's Nest Barbecue Show. And until then, we're going to do the show close. Good night. Good luck.